Hello there. I thought I'd take this opportunity to get outside and to make a short book plug video for my debut collection, An Array of Vapour, which is out now with TSL Publications. You can buy it direct from the publisher or from Amazon. Follow the links below the video to pick up a copy. But what I really wanted to talk about today was one of the endorsements I got for this book from Malcolm Guite. Now, I can't really explain to you what it means to me that Malcolm wrote an endorsement for this book. I mean, if you don't know who he is, he's a brilliant poet, a wonderful theologian and scholar, and had the vocation of a priest for many, many years in Cambridge. And Malcolm has been one of the most important writers for me writing today, not only as a poet, because his poetry is really, really inspiring, and he's a master of the sonnet form, just using the meter and rhythm naturally, like it's his own vernacular. Not only that, but his own theological writings, where he argues for the human imagination as a truth-bearing faculty that humans have, and argues for the importance of the imagination. Not only that, but Malcolm's also, for me, been like a gateway into so many other poets and writers, whether it be people who I hadn't read much at all before discovering Malcolm Guite, people like Owen Barfield, even Wendell Berry, Charles Williams and R.S. Thomas, or people who his writing has opened out new dimensions, people who I had already read but his writing transformed how I read them, people like William Blake, Seamus Heaney, Samuel Taylor Coleridge, and even William Shakespeare. And Malcolm's ability to inhabit their words and his amazing memory for poetry and the way he lives poetry just is so inspiring, and these beautiful links that he sees between these thinkers, it really speaks and embodies his own theology of the imagination, and it really is a embodiment and a living proof of that intellectual work. And I'm just really humbled and touched by Malcolm's response to me asking him for an endorsement. He said, "An Array of Vapour is a fine collection. Whilst a vapour may disperse, these poems gather to concentrate, enabling the reader to see the outcast and troubled in an entirely new light. To borrow a phrase from a poem in this collection, in Lily's poetry, our common humanity, suffering in extremis, is fearfully and wonderfully remade." For me, it's just wonderful to have a writer I respect so much write something so beautiful and encouraging about my words, and to also use a poem as an image of that, and to catch the vision of this book that really explores and expresses the deep suffering of people who I worked with when I worked with the homeless, but also kind of the truth and beauty and light that still exists in those places. And I'm really humbled he chose to quote my poem, Made, which is one of the poems towards the end of the book. And it was first published, it was actually my first poem ever published on paper. It was published by Isabel Kenyon of Fly on the Wall Press in her very first anthology that she put together, which was called Please Hear What I'm Not Saying. And it was an anthology that was made to raise funds and awareness for the mental health charity Mind in the UK, and it's a great, it was great to be part of that project, and it's wonderful to see how that was like a launch pad for her into the amazing things that Fly on the Wall Press are doing. So congratulations to Isabel Kenyon for that, and thank you for being the first person to publish me on paper. So here's me reading Made from my debut collection, An Array of Vapour, first published in the 2018 anthology Please Hear What I'm Not Saying. Made. Yellow teeth have tasted tobacco. Scarred skin has felt the knife. Grey hairs have withstood life, fearfully and wonderfully weathered. Calloused fingers have pressed the strings, cracked bones have tried utterly, bruised wrists have broken free, fearfully and wonderfully blemished. faltering feet know they've strayed, dejected eyes have been accused, yet contrite hearts shall not be refused, fearfully and wonderfully stained. Secure voices can resonate devotion, crooked limbs have been reset, repeating lips do not forget, fearfully and wonderfully remade.